Why super empaths are the only ones who can break an avoidance cycle. Have you ever noticed how most people eventually give up when they encounter someone with a deeply avoidant attachment style? At first, the connection feels intense and meaningful, but slowly, the pattern begins to reveal itself. The avoidant partner pulls away whenever emotional closeness grows too strong. They crave connection, yet they fear the vulnerability that comes with it. Many partners respond to this by chasing harder, pleading for reassurance, or trying to fix the relationship through constant emotional effort. But ironically, this pursuit only reinforces the avoidance cycle. The more someone chases, the more the avoidant feels pressured and retreats even further. This is why most relationships with avoidant individuals repeat the same painful loop. However, there is one type of person who can disrupt this pattern in a completely different way: the super empath. A super empath is not simply someone who feels deeply. Many people are empathetic, but a super empath has a unique combination of emotional awareness, resilience, and strong inner boundaries. They can sense emotional distance without immediately reacting with panic or desperation. They understand the unspoken fears behind avoidant behavior. Psychologists often explain that avoidant individuals develop their patterns as a survival strategy in early life. When closeness once felt unsafe or overwhelming, they learn to protect themselves by withdrawing emotionally. Because of this, when someone pushes for more intimacy, their nervous system interprets it as a threat. Most partners unknowingly trigger this defense mechanism. But the super empath does something different. Instead of chasing the avoidant partner, they remain emotionally present while also maintaining their independence. This balance quietly disrupts the avoidance expectations. Avoidant individuals are used to relationships where they hold emotional power through distance. They withdraw, and the other person runs after them. This dynamic reinforces their belief that closeness equals loss of control. But when a super empath enters the picture, the pattern shifts. The super empath still cares deeply, but they refuse to abandon their self-respect. When the avoidant pulls away, the super empath doesn't chase endlessly. They allow space without collapsing emotionally. This creates a surprising psychological effect. For the first time, the avoidant partner cannot rely on their usual defense strategy to control the emotional rhythm of the relationship. The silence that once created power suddenly feels different. Instead of relief, the avoidant begins to experience curiosity, confusion, and sometimes even anxiety about losing the connection. Another reason the super empath can break this cycle is their ability to see beyond surface behavior. While many people interpret avoidant distance as rejection or lack of love, the super empath often recognizes the deeper emotional struggle underneath. They understand that avoidance is not always cruelty. Sometimes it is fear disguised as indifference. This awareness allows them to respond with calm rather than emotional chaos. But this does not mean they tolerate endless emotional neglect. In fact, one of the defining characteristics of a super empath is the moment when their patience transforms into clarity. After recognizing the pattern, they stop over-investing their energy into someone who refuses to meet them halfway. When this shift happens, it often shocks the avoidant partner. The person who once provided unlimited emotional understanding suddenly becomes distant in a healthy and self-protective way. Psychologists sometimes refer to this shift as the empathic boundary awakening. When a super empath finally stops trying to rescue the avoidant partner, the emotional dynamic changes dramatically. The avoidant can no longer rely on the cycle of push and pull. Instead, they are forced to confront something unfamiliar: emotional accountability. Some avoidant individuals respond by withdrawing permanently because facing vulnerability feels too uncomfortable. But in other cases, something unexpected happens. The absence of emotional pressure, combined with the possibility of real loss, can trigger self-reflection. For the first time, the avoidant may begin questioning their own behavior and the walls they have built. The super empath's greatest strength is not their ability to heal others. It is their ability to walk away from unhealthy patterns while still holding compassion. They understand that love should not require abandoning oneself. When they finally step back, The avoidance cycle loses the fuel that kept it alive. The chasing stops. The emotional imbalance fades. And suddenly the relationship either evolves into something healthier or dissolves completely. Either outcome breaks the cycle that once seemed impossible to escape. In the end, the super empath changes the game not by fighting the avoidance defenses, but by refusing to participate in them. They bring awareness, patience, and emotional intelligence into a dynamic that usually thrives on confusion and imbalance. And when they finally choose self-respect over endless understanding, they reveal the truth that many people learn too late. Sometimes the most powerful way to change a relationship is not by trying harder to hold it together, but by having the strength to let go of the patterns that were quietly breaking you.